Welcome all on this beautifully warm Friday afternoon. Today we'll be talking about Flipgrid, which is a tool new to us. And before I started recording here, some of you saw I was asking Matt specific questions about if he's using it. Matt Mooney from History actually brought this up as a question because he also found out that basically almost 2 years ago now, Microsoft bought Flipgrid and is now providing it completely free to all educators. So there's no cost to it at all. It also integrates completely with Canvas as an assignment, so you can make it a graded activity, or you could have it live outside and not be a graded activity. And it also auto captions all videos that are recorded. So that includes student videos. So it's the only tool that I've found that kind of checks all those boxes for us. So this is really exciting. It also works on mobile and it connects through the Canvas app. So I've yet to find a huge downside other than it's an outside tool. One of the problems we were trying to solve, and this is something that Matt's been battling for literally years in his history classes, is he has a number of discussions through this semester that students are required to create video reflections. And the video recording tool that's built into Canvas has some issues saving files. I don't know if my other faculty in here who teach in modern languages have had the same problem. I'm seeing some nods of heads
Yeah,
where
we had a lot of problems with uploading videos from students.
yeah,
I think if it's a 1 minute or maybe 2 minutes, it's okay. If it's 3 or more minutes, it could take forever or not
yes,
upload.
or not at all. And sometimes it's just because it's Wednesday, right? So hopefully this will alleviate some of that issue. If you haven't already signed up for or signed into the class, you can't really record in Flipgrid and Zoom at the same time. It can be a little, weird to be listening to somebody and recording. But I'm going to leave this course open, and I've got a Flipgrid set up in there, so you can try it out yourself, especially from the student perspective. Try recording, try commenting to each other. So let me share my screen, and we'll dive into this. And so first I'm going to show you what it is. I want to walk through some of the specifics about it, show you what it is, and then I'll walk through the steps of actually setting it up. I'm looking off to the side because I've got two monitors. I'm just going to open up chat so I can see it. So feel free to chat questions or unmute if needed. So in this course, there's two links in here. One is just an informational page, which I'll go through in a second. And then the second one is actually the Flipgrid assignment. So if I go in to this informational page, I've got a bunch of resources in here for you as faculty. So there's a FAQ about Flipgrid. There is actually a step-by-step link here that will walk you through the process, both with screenshots or a video of how you add Flipgrid to your class. One of the kind of odd things about Flipgrid specifically is we cannot add it at the site level. So it's up to each instructor to add it manually to their course. Okay. It's a completely video-based discussion board. This is supposed to be, yeah, no issues of timeout. So that's what causes the video not to save. That has not been a problem with their board. I know Tara uses a different tool that's escaping my brain at the moment to post images. Flipgrid does not allow text posts or image posts. It's really video based. Padlet, thank you. Right, so this isn't a replacement for Padlet. It's not a replacement for a traditional discussion board. It's video only. Okay, students do not need to make an account because that's going to be pass-through pipeline. If they're using it on a mobile, it will most likely prompt them to log in, and they're just going to log in with their pipeline account. It was with mobile, and I'll show you what that looks like on mobile. Karen tested it on mobile herself as well. So if you want to watch her video in the Flipgrid, you can do that. And we'll have her chime in with some of her experience using the mobile side. There is a maximum limit to 10 minutes per video. 10 minutes is a long time for a video discussion. And maybe Matt can speak to how long his reviews are for his history class, but I believe they're usually around 5 minutes, right, Matt? From the student side.
Yeah, I'd tell a max 3 minutes actually.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think this is that 10-minute max is not going to be a problem here. Integrated speed grader, I'll show you that. You can, because it works as speed grader, you can also make a rubric in Canvas for grading. So you can do that. Like I mentioned before, it by default has captions on, and that's captions for all student videos that are created as well as faculty videos. If they're on their phone, they need to have the Flipgrid app, and I'll show you what that looks like. Once it's installed, it integrates through from Canvas, so they're not leaving Canvas, but they need to have the Flipgrid app installed. If they don't have it installed, it'll prompt them to download it. We can leave this Canvas shell up really forever as long as you want. So we'll probably check in with people later in the summer or in the fall. But we'll leave this up. So you can feel free to share that enrollment link with other faculty and just add them to it. So if we see it getting out of hand or anything, we might lock down enrollment. That's all. And yeah, PC, Chromebook, it's all browser based. Yeah, so Chromebook shouldn't be an issue. Once, as far as that end, anything that's a desktop type computer. So Chromebook is not a problem. Like it's like too good to be true, right? It like literally checks all the boxes, all of our red flags. It's like, wow, it does that. Wow, cool, nice. There's a little list of ideas here to using. Oh, back up one more thing up here. You can't have groups in Flipgrid discussions because they are an assignment. So if you're used to using small groups or pairing students off, that's not going to work because it can't handle that. Now you can make an assignment, right? And you could assign it to only specific students. So I'm thinking like for the languages, if you wanted to have an assignment for each pair of students, and you had 20 students, you'll have 10 different assignments and assign it to each different one. So that may or may not be a deal breaker for that, but that's an option. But there's no way to do like traditional groups like you would in a discussion board. And I have links for this, but there's also all the support's going to be provided by Flipgrid. Obviously, we're going to help you set it up and kind of get it working. But if students are having problems recording or getting access, they're going to use the Flipgrid help website, not the SBCC help desk. We don't have any access to Flipgrid. We can't troubleshoot their app on that side. So just know that that's there. I feel, and I've used Flipgrid in the past in other courses that I've taken as a student, and it's really not generally an issue. It's pretty much device agnostic. It works on everything. It's pretty low key, and they've been around for a while, so it's not intensive. There is a video here. I'm not going to play this. You can watch it on your own time. It's only about 4 or 5 minutes long. And it walks through an example from a faculty perspective and how also how students upload videos and things like that. And I have these embedded in the assignment. So there's at Flipgrid's website, they have a whole page for troubleshooting. So if a student is on XYZ device and they're not being able to do camera issues or whatever, right? They can come into the Mac area or the mobile, camera. It's not accessing it. They can come in here. And down at the bottom is the contact support area. And it's not live support. It's just a form that they would fill out and send over. So that's how that works. And then there's another, they have another website, which I think would be helpful for students, which is the Flipgrid Basics, and it just kind of shows them like all the features of the camera itself and how it's used for recording, how to do filters, how to add images or whatever you want to do. Questions so far? Yeah, Matt.
So I've been using it with this OEI class that I'm taking right now.
Mhm.
And there's this weird, awkward thing where you need it's like a 4-digit code to access it. Can we set it up to where it's just one click and they're in? They don't have to input any kind of code or access information.
Yeah, that sounds to me like they didn't integrate it with Canvas.
Well, you can access it from Canvas, but you've got to click on it.
Let me show you how we've set it up here, and this might show you if it's different or not. So if I go home, and here's the assignment that I set up, and I'll walk you through the setup process on this too. But actually, let me go into student view first. So I'm going to go to student view, and I'm going to click on this assignment. So I'm in here as a student. So this is pretty close to the student experience. So I click on the assignment. I see the instructions like I normally would in any given assignment from Canvas. And then the Flipgrid board is right here. So it's actually integrated, embedded right inside of Canvas. What I'm not thrilled about it with is I can't necessarily make this like full screen. I haven't found a way as a student to kind of make this pop out in a separate window. This is the code I think you're talking about, but this is embedded, since it's embedded in Canvas. If I actually take this code and I go to Flipgrid and I type in the thing, it actually gives you a warning. It won't let you post, and says this assignment is only works inside of Canvas. So
It's
it's
the same thing with
locked
mobile.
down. Yeah.
You get the same thing.
So it's kind of the opposite of what you were experiencing, I think. So they have to be enrolled in the class, and it's kind of locked down here. As a student, obviously I can see the portraits of those who took them and put them on their posts. And then I can also see how many comments have been left by others. There's that little blue number down here at the bottom. So if a student wants to make their own reply, they would just click on the camera. You'll notice if I click on it right now.
You have a moment.
Yeah, 1 second. And if I want to make a reply, I would then click on someone else's video and then hit the record from there. Yeah, question.
I can see my video is the green one. When I was recording, it automatically made it green. I had no way to change that or to delete that. I mean, it's not the big issue, but I'm curious, how is it that you can remove that green filter? Because I couldn't do it.
I will show you the filters in 1 second. I'm not sure, it shouldn't have had one automatically on. Yeah, so I would have to
exactly.
play with it. It's strange. Very strange.
I agree. Yes, it is. Okay.
I'll show you where the button is to remove filters as well. It looked like it was gonna work. So let me hit record a response really quick. What I found with Zoom, since I'm recording, sometimes I have to turn off my camera. Yeah, give me 1 second. So let me disable my video here. I'm gonna hit record response. See if I can make this a little bit bigger too. I don't know if it'll let me. So this is what the recording utility looks like. And once this is open to record a video, all I have to do is hit this record button here, and it'll count down and start recording. I can pause it, so I could take a drink of water or something or cough, and then hit the record button again and continue recording. If I don't like it, I can click on this retake button and it'll start over. And then I've got a whole bunch of options, which I'll get into in a second. Yes, you do, Annette. You need the consumer key and shared secret, and I'll show you that after I kind of show you the utility itself. So you can flip your camera, so you can see my text in the background is reading correctly, but if it wasn't, depending on the device, I can flip my camera just to rotate it back and forth. Under the options, there's a few different things inside here. I can mute my microphone. So I wanted to record just video with no sound. I can also record the screen. I know some faculty have been asking for a tool where students can record their screen to show maybe something that's going on. So maybe you have a help area where students can show you what's going on. So that's maybe an option. I haven't really tested this, but that's maybe an option for some faculty. And then there's a mic only version. As well, if students are having issues kind of recording in here, they could still record on their phone or on their device and then upload a video clip instead of recording their own inside of the recorder. So those are kind of all the options inside there. I just realized the flip is something else. The mirror video, that's the one that changes the orientation. So if I click on that, you can see it's reversed the words at the top. Flip is the device's cameras. So if you're on a mobile device that has a front camera and a back camera, that just rotates between the cameras that are available on the device. And then in effects, this is possibly what Catherine was hopefully seeing an issue with. There's a bunch of items inside of here, one of them being filters. And there's all these different filters inside of here that you can do color casts or change the tonality of the image.
It's interesting that yours has that. Mine did not have that option. It was so odd. I had an X on it, or it was X'd out for me.
What
Like red line or
what
something.
device were you on? Mobile or a desktop?
I was using my Mac, my laptop. Yeah, I was going through the Chrome browser. I just have no idea why.
Interesting. Maybe just try restarting your computer.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's still giving you
I'll
issues,
definitely do that another time. I'll test it again.
yeah, we can play with it. If it's solving issues, let us know and we can work with you and see if we can find out what's going on. So in this effects, there's all these filters in there. Yeah. And if I remember right, I think it's in here. Yeah. Towards the end here is like pixelated filters. So if you have a student who wants to, or you want them to record a video, but they don't want to show all their surroundings, you could give this as an option. So I kind of like this in the sense of from the equity perspective, right? So if I'm a student who lives in a dorm or a large family and I don't want to show all my surroundings, it still lets me record a video. You can see that I'm here, kind of, but you're not able to see everything behind me. So it'll be kind of up to you how clear you want those videos to be from students. But there is a ton of different filters and effects throughout here. Yeah, audio only is under options. So if I click on options, you can hit mic only, and that turns off the video, and then it only records the mic. And we go back under effects. I'm not going to dive into all these different things, but I'm thinking of a assignment that Tara does with her students and has them look around their area and as a gatherer assignment where it's like if I'm growing food or there's food near me, what do I have available? And then all the students post and then they can all share and create a better, I'm explaining this so badly, Tara, I know, but if I'm growing artichokes and the cilantro, maybe Matt's growing oranges, we can then swap what we're what we're growing, right? So I can actually, as a student or you as faculty, can come in here and actually upload a photo as a sticker. So I can drag or get an image from my desktop, drop it on here, and place it somewhere in my frame. And I can resize it with these corners. And then I could talk about the image. So it'll record me with the image on the side over here. Lots of possibilities for, say, the photography department or the art department. I could take a picture of my work and display it and talk about it, right? So what's cool about this is I could be recording, show one image, hit pause, delete this image off of there, and then bring in another photo of a different kind. I don't have very much things on my desktop, so you're getting random stuff. That's not going to work. But then I could continue recording with the video, with the image gone, or with a new image in its place. I believe you could download it and upload it to YouTube, but let me verify that. I believe there was a download area. There is a whiteboard under effects as well. So you can bring up a board with different backgrounds to then draw on. And this is the ink for drawing. So if I wanted to demonstrate something or point something out in a video, I can do that while I'm recording. And there's text as well. And the frames is just kind of fun borders. It's pretty limited of what's there. You can't upload your own borders or anything like that. So that's kind of all the options that are in there. So what part of the reason I show you all those is you might ask students to either specifically use one of them or not use certain things. I have not seen a place to upload background music. Obviously you could play music in the background while you're recording. I could tell my Alexa to play music in the background if I wanted to. So let me close this. It can't, or close, confirm, get rid of that. You go to my video here. I do not see a download. I'll look into the ability to download and upload to YouTube for you, Matt. I'm not sure on that one. Any other quick questions? Oh, so let me show you the comment piece. So if I were to click on, say, Karen's video and I wanted to make a comment response to her video, I would come in, view her video, scroll down, and then click add video comment. The video comment works the same way. What is the immersive reader, Matt? I couldn't get it to actually do anything.
So it's like captions, except you can see the entire post all at once.
Interesting. Every time I click on it, it doesn't do anything. So I don't know if it's an issue in Canvas or what. So I'll play with it when I'm not in Zoom because sometimes that causes problems. That's cool. So it has like the text on the side of the video.
I think it superimposes it over the video.
Over the video. Interesting. So you can see that Karen's video is captioned here. I haven't looked at the accuracy of the captioning. It has some capitalization, but it's definitely not perfect. You can see it added a comma. So it's maybe a little bit better than YouTube captioning, but we'll see over time how well it does with the accuracy part. Okay, I'm going to leave student view and show you what this looks like from the instructor's perspective. I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit. You'll notice that I have the instructions up here as well as down in the Flipgrid part itself. What I noticed is when you go in to view as a student, or even when you're looking at it from the student perspective, the instructions are very tiny and it kind of gets lost in all this imagery. And also when it's embedded inside of Canvas, when you're scrolling down, you lose the directions when you go in to record your video. So I would recommend also putting the instructions in the Canvas directions part as well, or even primarily up there. So as an instructor, I can see all the different people who responded. I can, you can actually block it. So you would have to approve each video before it got posted. So if you're worried about students posting, inappropriate videos or something like that, you can actually gatekeep all the videos that are there. I can disable a video. So if I wanted to hide this video and have Catherine redo it without the green filter, I can hide that one. I can also delete. Here's the download video. I knew I saw it somewhere. So maybe only as a faculty member can you download the videos. I'm not going to go into all the options. There is a ton of different things inside of Flipgrid. I'm trying to keep it simple. The order here is also the order on the Flipgrid page. So if I were to, I can drag the order of the videos. So if I wanted to highlight a specific person's video, I can drag it up. And you can also do, you can pin responses to the top. So that becomes the first one. So if you wanted to create a response as the instructor and always make sure that was the first one that students saw, you can do that as well. And so now if I go back to view as a student, we should see that my video went up on the grid. So now I'm above Jeff's videos just by dragging the order there. When you have the Flipgrid assignment created, and I'll show you how to create it right after this, I do have an edit topic in here. So the edit assignment settings is the Canvas assignment, right? So this is, you'll all be familiar with this. Excuse me. I can set the points. I can set the instructions. I set it to an external tool using the Flipgrid assignment, and I can set the due dates, all those things inside of the assignment tool as normal. If you want to use a rubric, you have to add the rubric first before changing it to a Flipgrid assignment. You'll notice that there's no add rubric button here. If I go into the edit button down here is where I can change anything in the Flipgrid assignment part itself that's in this little scroll window. So I can change the title of the Flipgrid part itself. I can add instructions in here. There's different parts down in here. This part here is the same that I'll show you in 1 second. So if you wanted to give students a an image of something, so if I wanted to say in Matt's history class, display a map and then have students respond to something about that map, I could upload an image and then it would all see that map first and then respond based on that image. So these are all things you can kind of give them, including Adobe Spark, as kind of a prompt starting point. The permissions are set by the integration, so we can't really do anything there. This is the moderation I was talking about. So if you turn this on, none of the students' posts will be live until you allow them to be live. So it's just called topic moderation, and all you do is click that on. You can set the recording time. The default is 1.5 minutes. So if you want it to be 3 minutes, make sure you come into the recording time and set that to the 3-minute mark. And while they're recording, they'll see a countdown timer. That'll show them how much time they have left. You can add attachments again to the item. I would put it in the Canvas assignment, any attachments or resources you want to give them. I would put that up at the top. And you can also set up notifications to email you when people post at different intervals. So you can get a daily report every time there's a new comment. And then you can also turn on notifications for students. This is off by default. So if you want to have it where students can come in and set up if they get notified, you want to come in and turn that on. And then there's options as far as letting students edit their videos and those kinds of things. So these are, most of these are on by default. The likes is off by default. I didn't change any of these. So if you want to allow students to just like a video, you can turn that on. And there's one more piece inside here that I want to point out. There's the ability to change the feedback. It wasn't that part. Where's the comments? This is the captioning. You can see it's on by default. You can change the captions. So if you're teaching, I don't know if Italian is in here. Yep, Italian's in here. So if you are teaching a language course and you're having them speak in a different language than English, English is the default. So just change your captions and we'll see how well it does for that. Here it is, comments. It allows you to change from video comments only to text comments or video and text comments. This does not work in the Canvas integration. If you turn it on, they'll get an error message saying that Canvas does not allow text comments. Matt's asking if can you set up a Flipgrid assignment with all the settings and then duplicate it? Yes. I haven't tried it with the integration. So that's something to definitely check out. Most of the settings are pretty, I would leave them alone unless there's something specific. The only thing I know that you'll want to set is the time limit. Again, we can work on these things with you as well. But I think it's under the discussion tab. Here's all my courses. So I'm actually seeing all my courses that exist in my Flipgrid account. This is the Flipgrid test class. And then here's the topic, and I can duplicate the topic. And then I can assign that in a different assignment. The comments are, the comments in Flipgrid are public. Yeah, so it's open to the class. Now, as the instructor, I can come into the speed grader and I can see your posts from here. So I'm looking at Jeff's posts and I can see that he actually posted twice. If I go down, I don't know, I didn't look and see who responded to Catherine's video. There's Catherine's green video. Let's see if Karen's in here. And then here's she's got 2 videos, I think. Nope, that's just one. But you should be able to see all their video posts in this one area. So if you had a rubric, it would show up here. I can score, and then I can leave comments here directly to the student. So again, this is a regular speed grader. So anything I comment in here will go only to that one student. And I like that because it's that way it's the same if you're doing an assignment or a discussion or anything else. It's the same kind of grading process. Any other questions so far? I'm not going to demo mixtapes because I don't know anything about it. The one thing, what you can do with mixtapes is, and Matt, you might find this really interesting, is what a mixtape is you can basically take a group of videos. So if I give this as an assignment and there's 50 or 60 responses, I could choose 5 videos of that assignment, make a mixtape out of it, and then send it out to students for, here, watch these 5 responses, right? Or videos, or however it's being used. Something to play with. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it a little bit simple. So there's all kinds of different stuff inside of here. Any questions, comments, thoughts, ideas before I show you how to actually put this into your class? Good. I hear glass clinking, so it's definitely Friday. The drinks are out. Okay. Let me show you how to add this to your class. Before you have it in your course at all, you have to go out and create a Flipgrid account. Because remember, this is completely outside of Canvas, and we're bringing it into Canvas. So you're going to go to flipgrid.com. And I've already caught an account, so it's going to log me straight in. You don't need to sign up because it's integrated with Google, which is our pipeline. So just hit login. And the first time you go to log in, it's going to ask you how you want to log in. One of the options is Google. Click on Google. And then as long as you're logged into your Gmail, you should see your pipeline account as one of the options. And when you do that, you'll see your pipeline profile brought over. Okay, so that's one step I can't show you because I've already logged in. Once you're logged in, what you're not going to do is create a group or create any activities outside here. You want to create it inside Canvas. So we're just setting this up to link. Once you're in Flipgrid and you've logged in, click on your portrait up here in the upper right-hand corner and click on Profile. In the profile screen, you can add a photo. I recommend using the same photo you use for your Canvas account, so that way there's consistency. And then click on Integrations. And you basically have two options inside the integrations. You have Google Classroom and you have Canvas. Obviously, you see I've already got one set up here. To create your integration, click on Add New Integration. And then it's going to ask you to give it a name. You can name it anything you want. Nobody will see this. No one's going to see that but me. I hit create, and then it just gives me my key and secret. I've already got one, so I don't need to create a new one every semester. You can use you use the same key and secret for every term, every course. Once I have it, I'm going to go into settings in my Canvas course. Actually, let me go into the course where I know it doesn't exist. And I'm going to go into settings and go into applications. And in the external apps filter, I'm going to type in Flipgrid. You can just type in Flip really. Click on the Flipgrid logo, click Add App, and then you're going to copy and paste in your key and secret. So I have Flipgrid open in another tab. I'm going to hit copy on the key, go back to Canvas, paste it in, copy on the secret, paste it in, hit Add App. And now my Flipgrid account is inside of Canvas. So when I go to assignments, and just like any external tool, it's an assignment, not a discussion. So if I'm going to create a Flipgrid discussion, I'm creating an assignment, and I can call this, right? If you're using regular discussions and Flipgrid discussions, you might want to call this Flipgrid or at least video discussion, so students know which ones are maybe a text-based discussion and which one's a Flipgrid or a video discussion. Add your text. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to hit save for 1 second. If I want to, I'm going to give it a text entry. Doesn't matter. If I want to add a rubric, I need to add the rubric here first. then I would go back into the assignment and change the submission type to external tool. Click on find and just scroll down to Flipgrid. Hit select and then hit save. And once you do that, this is a new class, right? So it's going to make a new group. It's going to ask me to connect the Flipgrid to Canvas. So it's making a new group for this course. And then it makes a new discussion board based on the name of the assignment. So it does all that automatically. And that's why I need to play with this a little bit, Matt, to answer your question more specifically, is doing the Canvas integration, can I duplicate a grid, right, with all the settings and bring it over? Because otherwise I'd come back in here to the settings and change the whatever settings I want. So specifically, I might change this to 3 minutes and hit update topic. Once it's in the course, I can just go in and make more assignments. I don't need to do the integration thing over and over again. It's all here. The one thing I believe you do have to do, and this is another thing we have to fully test, is when you roll over to a new semester, I believe you have to open up the discussions. So it'll create the new topic. So it'll carry over everything, but you've just got to go into each of your Flipgrid discussions and just open them. And then it'll create the new group. It'll create the new discussion. So if you don't open it before students go in there, there will be no discussion for them to participate in. Again, that's how I understand it. So we'll definitely do some testing. Turn my video back on. And that is basically the process. And we've got time for questions if you want me to show anything else or share ideas or thoughts. And again, you can feel free to use this discussion board as a place to play with this, test it out, and you can definitely ask us questions here about it, or if you want to follow up with anything else, feel free to do so.
Rob.
Yeah.
One question about the way that it displays. I mean, the videos are kind of big and blocky. Is there an option to sort of have it set up more as like a threaded discussion?
Not that I'm aware of. It's pretty much as it is. It's made to be this grid. I never saw any other view. Yeah. I think that's kind of the point of it, is it's trying to make it, front and center, more inviting. I didn't show you the last part of creating that video. It asks you to take a selfie, right? Those of you who have tried this already. Before you finish saving your video, it asks you to take a selfie image. You can use an image from your video, or you can take a new one, or you can upload an image or a graphic. So I think the idea of it is to be similar to, why can't I ever remember the name of the other tool? Oh God, the one that Karen, the one that Padlet. Thank you. Cannot remember the name of that tool ever. Very similar to Padlet, where it shows the block of text, right? It's designed to be that big grid. You can't really change the view of it too much. For you as the instructor, you can look at it in this view, right? Or you can click on this view as student and see it kind of full screen. The student view is always this this smaller window, which isn't super great, in my opinion, right? They'd have to scroll down here and they're only going to see 3 or 4 posts at a time. So it'll be, for you, Matt, especially, there'll be a lot of posts in there. Do you guys want to see how this integrates on mobile? Yeah. Okay. Do a little sharing magic. Feel free to ask any other questions as I get my phone connected.
Rob, I have a question. Would you think this would work? I was thinking just like live, well, I guess reflection and sharing. We have a brand new cohort of nursing students starting this summer, first time ever. And when they go to clinical, you'd think it would be beneficial. I was kind of thinking maybe they could just do a little video on their clinical experience and anything that they've run into as far as glitches and stuff. So then I could share that with the class. Cause like in class, it's interactive and somebody will raise their hand and say, oh, Mary, when I was in clinical, I was trying to give this medication and this is what happened. Well, being online, their classmates don't get the benefit of that. So that's kind of where I was thinking this might work, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's asynchronous, right? So it's not live like Zoom is. So
Right.
it's more like a video discussion. I think it's great for that kind of stuff. And you can just have, you don't have to even make it graded, right? You can just make the assignment and have the Flipgrid there and just have it be, general questions or it could be topical questions, however you want to set it up.
That's kind of what I was thinking, like weekly reflection on how your clinical days went and anything they could share with their classmates, to help them through some glitches or whatever.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep. So this is I'm controlling my phone here. In my class, I'm going to go ahead and click on home and I can see this is my modules. I'm going to click on the assignment. And I've already got Flipgrid installed on my phone, but you can see I've got the instructions here, and then it has launch external URL. So this is going to be very similar on the iPad or iPhone as well. So they can read the instructions here. They click on this launch external tool, and you can see it's staying inside of Canvas, but it's launching the browser and then using the app, the Flipgrid app, to actually load the discussion in the background. I didn't go in as student view, but that's all right. And it'll launch more full screen like this, full screen on a mobile device. And of course, since we're talking about, and I'm demoing it live, it's not going to function. There we go. When we're talking about video on mobile, right? We're talking about more bandwidth and all that kind of stuff too. So students might need to be a little patient with it. But it really is designed for to be a mobile app as well. So here's all the responses, and it's the same steps, right? It looks exactly the same as it does on the desktop. So I can hit record a response, and there's the open it app. I think it's because I wasn't in as an instructor. Yeah. And sorry, my phone's just sitting off to the side here. And then I have very similar controls, right? So I have the options. I've got mic only, so I can just record audio without video. I can do mute, I can add notes, and I can also upload from my phone. And then under effects, we've got the filters, pretty much all the same settings. I haven't noticed anything different between the desktop application and the mobile application. So consistency is always good. Up at the upper corner here, you can see the countdown timer. So when I start recording, that will count down so I can see how much time I have left while I'm explaining things. And if I I'll go ahead and hit stop, and I'll hit next. Lets me review the video that I recorded. Of course, it's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and next. I can give a name. It's going to choose a horrible frame from your video, whatever it deems the worst one possible. So I can hit edit cover. I can select a frame, or I can take an image, or take a selfie with a camera, or I can upload a new image. So I'll just do take selfie. Hit next and submit. Return to topic. And this should take me, it doesn't. So if I want to go back to Canvas, I've got to flip back to Canvas itself. But yeah, that's kind of gives you an idea of what the mobile experience is going to be like. But the tool itself is pretty much the same. Any other questions? I know Tara's just ready for a nap, so.
I wish. I have another meeting at 3.
Me too. Well, is it at 3? Am I in there with you?
God, does this have something to do with SLOs? Because if so, yes.
I think so. I think I'm confused. Core 1, whatever it was.
Yes, it's from 3 to 5.
We'll cut this out of the recording.
Thank you. It's just too warm out. I can't handle it.
I'm right there with you. You are very welcome. Like I said, feel free to use this assignment that we've created to test it out. I think, Matt, if you're going to try this out this summer, I'd love to work with you and any feedback. If anyone else wants to use it over the summer, definitely reach out. We can help you get this set up and try it out and help you troubleshoot any issues. I will say, just as a side note, you can set up Flipgrid outside of Canvas and put the link inside of Canvas, right? The downside of that is they have to put in that code, they have to make an account, they have to do all this stuff, but then you could have a Flipgrid available to multiple classes. So if you wanted to have a department-wide discussion, thinking like nursing might want to have more than just one section, you can do that with Flipgrid. The nice thing about incorporating it into Canvas is there's no setup from the student's end, and you're only letting people in from your class, right? You're definitely in this bubble. Right? We will get this recording up on the FRC site either later today or by Monday at the latest. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay cool. Get those AC units going if you have them. If not, water, water, water.